TIFU by making my buddy realize his daughter is probably not his. Me and my buddy are both in our mid-20s. But here it goes. I don't even know how to start, and we've known each other since high school and has pretty much my best friend. And work as engineers for the same company. We played a couple of rounds of CS tonight, and we're talking via Discord. His GF works as a nurse at the night shift sometimes. We usually use this time to game. The usual stuff. After the game, we decided to take a quick break for a couple of minutes. So we did the usual chit-chat. We somehow talked about school, and how both of us really never enjoyed their time there, as we grow up. We had both been bullied for being nerdish back in our school days. My buddy said that he hopes his daughter, who is 3F, will have a much nicer time later in school/high school compared to him. It got to the point where we talked about all the unimportant stuff we had to learn while we were there. Well, for me, I've always disliked biology classes. As I hated the teacher back then, I mean really hated them. And I said jokingly to my buddy, trying to sound like my old teacher, the only things my 6th grade biology teacher taught us are mitochondria are the power plants of the cell, and you can tell if your mama cheated by your eye color. My buddy laughing at this point, really? The eye color? And I said yes, apparently. My buddy, how me? Take me, for example. I have blue eyes and so does my sister. Apparently, blue eyes are what call a recessive gene. If one parent has blue eyes and the other has brown, there is only a small chance for your kid to be born with blue eyes. Well, my parents both also have blue eyes of their own, so it would be more than unlikely for me to have brown eyes. My buddy said the more you know, then paused for a second. Then he said, be right back, gotta make Saray the little one go sleep now. After that, he returned roughly a minute later, and I could hear him almost sobbing. Me and my GF also both have blue eyes, but my daughter doesn't. It took me some time, but I could calm him down eventually. So after that, we both spent some time Googling away, but no blue eyes are recessive. As I remembered, we found out that if both parents have blue eyes, the ratio is 99% blue eyes and 1% brown or green, so highly unlikely. My buddy quickly disconnected from the call. I tried to text him, call him, but he didn't answer until 30 minutes later, saying he will call me soon. I stayed up all night telling my GF to go to bed without me. The longer I waited, I started fearing for the worst. I texted him again and again. He always answered. He'll call me in a couple of minutes. At 5 a.m., he finally called me back and said that his GF came home at 02:30 a.m. and asked him what's wrong. He told her Hess not feeling well and will soon get back to bed. He waited until she was asleep to call me back. He told me he will take a paternity test behind her back to have something official to slap in her face. Then he started to cry, and I drove to his place to pick him up, and we went to a late-night drive-thru and graped something to eat. I've never seen my best friend like this, and I feel like I'm the one responsible for crushing his world. He told that he wanted to propose to her on Valentine's Day. But that's off the table. I dropped him off 2 hours later at his place. He said he will call me tomorrow. Now I'm typing this out. Laying in my bed next to my GF, who slept the whole time. Unable to sleep. I can't shake the feeling that I destroyed my buddy's life. So the results came in today, and my buddy called me right away. He is not, the father is now ex-GF, and she broke down claiming that even if their daughter is not his, my buddy has told her no, and that he will not raise somebody else's kid. She started to demand that since he has been raising her for 3 years now, and that she had in fact stopped sleeping around 2 years ago. So they're all good now and can work this over. He's now crashing at my place, while giving them 10 days to find a new place to stay. My buddy also told me he's giving her 10 only for the kid's sake, otherwise he would have thrown her out right away. He's also looking for lawyer, should there be aftermath to this. But test is more than sufficient where we live. So he's pretty much of the hook also, if you are wondering. The hospital does 3 tests back-to-back to make sure also. My buddy is the only one paying for the apartment and 2 cars they own, and he will sell hers to his niece.